What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with another Operation Trebuchet news update. And this week, guys, we have a short, but probably the biggest news video that has happened in many months with Operation Trebuchet news here. So starting us off, we have new textures for the VK-78 Commando being done by Freeman. Not much to say here. It looks really good, but of course these are very similar to the textures that are already in game, just much better looking. So I am looking forward to seeing this. Of course, we will probably see more of these that are based off of the textures that we already have in game, so the police and the white camouflage and so on and so forth. But that's not the news anybody is here for. Now, a lot of you guys watching this video may already know, but a lot of you might not. A new Covenant species was announced for Operation Trebuchet. This is a joint effort between the 1st MEU and the Operation Trebuchet dev team, specifically between Rage Wolf and Lux. Rage Wolf from the 1st MEU and Lux from the Operation Trebuchet and First Contact dev team. Now, the new species is a Jackal. The Jackal will be placed onto a standard Armament skeleton. It was modeled and textured by Lux about a year ago, and he had attempted to get it into game working as a species back then, but was unable to. And so the first MEU saw it, and they're like, hey, we'd like to take a crack at it with your model, get it in game, get it working, if that's okay. And they agreed, and they said, hey, because it's an Operation Trebuchet asset, we'll put it in Operation Trebuchet, presumably. And here we are. So obviously Rage Wolf was able to get it in-game and working. So we did get a short tease of a trailer with this. Basically, it's, nighttime. It's really dark. It's kind of hard to see. You see the character looking through the binoculars, and you get quick, brief glimpses of the jackals moving through the trees. And then a very brief full-body shot of it where it's just zoom in, looks at it, and moves off right away. Now, the community did figure out it was a jackal pretty quickly. There was a few people who said, hey, it looks like a flood, which I actually do kind of understand why, especially given the textures and stuff like that. But it is confirmed to be a jackal, and I've got plenty of verification. I actually managed to have a bunch of people reaching out to me about this from the community and stuff like that, and I managed to get some additional screenshots and videos and stuff of this, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that stuff. Starting us off, I actually got this stuff directly from Lux himself of the initial 3D renders for the jackals. So these are pre-textures and everything, of course, and it's a pretty good-looking model. I like it. Pretty aggressive looking. I mean, it's a jackal, you expect that, but yeah, I dig it. And so we've got basically two videos, and one's just a zoomed-in kind of headshot, and then the other one is a full-body render of the jackal. And I am really looking forward to seeing it. Of course, it's got the same armor and stuff that it has in game. It's got that asymmetrical armor because you've got the shield gauntlet on the one side. And it's cool. I dig it. Now, with that being said, there was some debate internally with the Operation Trebuchet dev team, from what I understand, because they were not quite 100% ready to post this stuff yet. And the reason the video was posted at night, well, the video was posted at night for some people, but more specifically as nighttime in the video, I should say, was because they didn't want everybody to actually see the jackals fully and in plain day. They wanted to say, hey, we're working on the jackals without anybody actually seeing jackals properly. And the reason for that is because nobody's really happy with the textures currently, and they want to redo them. So the video being shared out wasn't necessarily agreed on by the whole dev team, but because it's out, I did manage to reach out to a few people, and I actually had some folks sharing what the current jackals look like with me. Now, bear in mind, this is not the final texture for the jackals, just based off of what I've heard. There's plans to change it, and you guys will kind of see that here. So I'm assuming this first image, and I didn't get a lot of context with these images, I'm assuming this first image here is the current textures for the jackals as they were in the video. So as you can see, it's kind of got that tan color with a lot of brown mixed into the head, almost kind of camouflaged looking. And again, just looking at the skin, I could see why people would think it was a flood, because you look at this and it's very fleshy and blood colors, like the tan and the darker brown spots looks very flood-like. But This is the current one. And then we see another post from Nightovizard where we can see a similar one up on the top here, first posted by him. It looks like a lot of the darker brown spots that were on the head are gone. The arms and the head are now all pretty consistent in coloration from at least this angle. And then we see another one on the bottom, which is a very similar shot. The skin is a lot darker in general. The eyes have been yellowed, and they have smaller pupils, and the gums are darker, and the teeth are darker, just basically darker in general. Now, this personally is my favorite of them all so far. I'm guessing that they could do more to iterate upon it and make it look even better. I'm guessing there's probably some stuff they want to do with the armor as far as materials and things of that nature, too. With that being said, though, it is really exciting stuff. Now, I did ask Lux specifically about what he thought the time frame for this would be. Of course, you know, no matter who you talk to, nobody's really going to know for sure. They don't have any set deadline, as we would expect. They did say, Lux, I should say, did say that he thinks it'll probably take a little bit of time because they have to work on the shields. They have to fix the textures. They have to figure out the skills, the weapon loadouts for these guys. So, you know, are they going to be using beam rifles? Are they going to use plasma pistols with shields? Just plasma pistols alone? Just carbines? Stuff like that. You know, there needs to be a lot of functionality figured out and a lot of testing before they can get to that point. Now, with that being said, Lux did ask that I make sure to say he's not really involved at this point with it. You know, even though he did the model and the texture work, a lot of the actual implementation is not really something within his purview. So he did ask that I clarify that, and so that, you know, really he can't say himself when it's going to be coming out. Now, with that being said, it is being developed, at least in part, by the first MEU, and as they've shown recently, they are looking to get stuff out as fast as they humanly can. So I would imagine this will probably come out sooner rather than later, but it is difficult to say with it being part of the Operation Trebuchet dev team's official portfolio for the mod. Who knows how long it could take. So, let's move over to community. Now, this is going to be a little bit harder to follow up with just because it is not a new Covenant species, but this is still pretty darn big too. Literally and metaphorically speaking, that is. So, we had another post shared by the first MEU. This was initially shared as a screenshot, but I'm not going to post the screenshot here just because the video basically shows the exact same thing as the screenshot, but in video format. And we see a number of lasers of all different colors and stuff coming from the sky, and we see some shadows floating around. It's hard to tell because we don't actually directly see anything on the screen, but it looks like we have a number of different Sentinels being added into the mod. So we see the blue beams. I don't think I recall any of the Sentinels currently in the game firing blue beams. So it looks like we'll probably be getting golden Sentinels, possibly. There's also red and orange lasers. Now, I don't know, the orange lasers may be updated Sentinel beams. The way they fire in the mod currently doesn't really look like that, so that might have been just an upgraded standard Sentinel beam. I'm kind of hoping that's what it is, but if it's not a big deal. It still looks really great, though. I really like these laser effects. And then there's a big red beam hitting a Scorpion tank, and yeah, that's pretty crazy too. So with that, you know, it doesn't blow the Scorpion tank up right off bat, but it does seem like it's doing some pretty decent damage to it. Now, again, though, I don't know what it's coming from. Based off the shadows, though, the shadows are quite large. So this could be a aggressor Sentinel, I believe is what it might be. I think those are the big ones from Halo 2, the ones that can pick up like small vehicles like the Spectres and stuff. I'm not sure though. We did have that Protector Sentinel teased out, but this doesn't look like that based off the shadow, but it is a big shadow, so I'm guessing it's not a standard Sentinel either, especially with the laser size. Nonetheless, I am definitely interested to see what this ends up looking like or what it ends up being, but really, again, I don't have much to say on it yet just because there isn't much to show. So other than that, guys, I want to start rambling because it's like almost 7 a.m. and I haven't slept yet. I don't know if I said that yet or not. I may or may not have, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, as always, guys, I want to know what you guys were most excited for from today's video. it's probably pretty obvious in this case, but I'm going to still ask it anyways. And of course, just like always, I also want to know what you guys are looking forward to being added into the mod the most. All right, let me know in the comments below, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.